Alrighty. I was having some technical difficulties, but we are back. We are up. Third time is a charm. All right, we got good signal. Welcome everybody back. Ah, Welcome everybody back to how to start a certain business. And today we're going to be focusing on how to start a mobile detailing business. And out of all the businesses, I think that detailing cars is probably one of the coolest businesses to have. It's also a very cash flow business, but it's a very physical business. I mean, construction, cooking, detailing, mechanics, everything. Everything is very physical. But this one, just like construction, leaves you exposed to the elements as well if you don't have a shop or you're not working in a garage. But we're going to go over what it's going to take for you to open up a detailing business here in Colorado and to make it successful. So Google says you need to obtain a high school diploma or equivalent. And I say nobody ever asked me for my education or background, so you don't really need to even have a diploma. So if you can work, you can do detailing. You do need a driver's license. You are going to need to have a vehicle. I mean, you are a mobile detailer, so you need a car. All right. And you need to learn about car detailing. You can either research it, you can watch videos, you can read articles, you could volunteer, but that's very rare. You could find a place to go be a detailer, or you could get trained. You could pay to get trained. You could pay to learn directly how to do it, either on your vehicle, a client's vehicle, somebody's vehicle. But definitely reach out if you're trying to get trained and learn about it and actually have hands on. I don't know about certification. I, I mean, when you get into like ceramic coating, some products need you to be certified with them, which is fine, but I don't believe you need any certification to be a car detailer. And definitely, after you learn, practice on your own car. Ask a friend, ask a family member, because you are going to need to take photos. You're going to need to take videos. You are going to need to have a portfolio of your work before you even start. And I'm going to tell you why. The first thing you are going to need is you are going to get legit. You are going to go to the Secretary of State and you are going to file your business entity. If you already have a business, you just have to file an existing record. So you are amending your previous business, doing DBA for your new detailing business, or you could just file a new one. It's like 25 bucks. You file a new one, you see if it's available, you get your LLC or whatever type of business structure you are trying to make, and you just check if it's available. You go through the checklist, you go through the application, you're an individual, you need your Colorado driver's license. If not, you get a passcode mailed or you have a passcode. So you get your LLC, and I'm going to tell you why you also need it. Yes, I want to leave. All right. So then we go to your EIN number. This is your tax ID for your business. Once you get your tax ID for your business, you can get Square. You can also use your EIN to go get a bank account, also with your business entity, to make sure that you are under good standing of the Secretary of State. You could get a bank account. You can get a loan. You can get Square and you can start processing payments. So that is a big benefit. You are also going to need to file with Google Business accounts. So definitely go search Google Business Profile and go sign up. I'm not going to click on it. It's just going to log me in. And that was the issue I had last time. Um, but yeah, once you get your Google Business, you got your photos, you got your videos. Like I said, you got your portfolio. You're ready to rock and roll. You got your business phone number. You're ready to start picking up phone calls and detailing, right? Well, you don't even know what you need yet. All right, you're legit. Oh yeah, you're missing insurance. Go get some insurance too. It's like 100 or 250 bucks a month for your business. Now, let's get to the important part, the shopping. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to just go through the whole product list. And honestly, you do not need that much to be a detailer. The total cost of this cart is like 860 some dollars. But all you really need are some towels, some spray bottles with chemicals in them, a vacuum, and a power washer, and some towels to like dry off. But aside from that, you really don't need much. The one thing we are missing from this list is a hose, a water hose. That compresses, expands. It's very portable. But you're going to want a good power washer. And I personally use 1800 psi with Ryobi. Um, they just, I don't know, they just do really well. I used them for like 5, 10 years, and I've only really had one machine break down. I don't know why, but it just stopped working one day, and I was like, all right, it's time to go get a new one. Um, and the power washer works great. You can power wash ground, you can power wash homes, fences, and it doesn't damage much. Do not use, I mean, if you know how to use a power washer, you know not to use that long green tip on cars. If you know, you know. These are also going to include some upgrades for your tools, because when you're a car detailer, you're already having to deal with very tight crevices, very intricate, solutions that you have to come up with to sometimes fix a problem that a client is having. And the last thing that you want are little tedious things affecting you, like a hose exploding. I've had 3 hoses explode till I finally decided to just go with an upgrade. I didn't go with this one. I went with a Harbor Freight one, and it's been working pretty well so far. But that Ryobi hose is going to explode on you one day, especially if you don't wrap it properly, if you pinch it, just anything. It'll explode eventually. Now, this swivel kit works great with this upgraded hose, and if you connect it with your water hose as well, it swivels too. It's quick disconnect, and it moves really easily, freely, and you don't get tangled, and you don't have that issue of having to untangle and retangle every time you move around. So definitely get an upgraded hose. I use a Chemical Guy foam cannon, but you could easily get whatever foam cannon works best for you. But afterwards, I do suggest that you get 3 buckets. I am saying 3 buckets because you need one for wheels and tires, one for soap, and one for rinse. And this is a grit guard, and you're going to want to have a grit guard, especially when you are rinsing and wringing out your wash mitt before you dump it into the soapy bucket. You're also going to want to look for good wheel and tire cleaning sets. The thing that I found the most frustrating is the wheel wand, this little red thing. They look cool. They don't really, I mean, they do stuff, but they don't really do much. I got a hand mitt so I can get in there as well. And I do like the wheel brush. The more abrasive it is, the better. And then these little ones, they're good for getting in the lug nuts, the lug nut holes. But yeah, just you need a good brush. You need that little lug nut brush, and then look for a good wand that's pretty flexible and not too abrasive. Because if you work on some delicate carbon fiber wheels, you don't want to scratch them up. Definitely get some brushes. These can be used interior or exterior, nooks and cranny brushes too. The vent brushes or the vent cloths. Those guys look very abrasive, but use those with a grain of salt. You're gonna need some microfiber towels. Okay, the gray ones outside, the green ones inside, the blue ones windows, and that's really all you need. And you need a drying towel, but the drying towel is above. Now, I suggest you use concentrates because, yes, you could just keep buying bottles and bottles at Advanced Auto Parts or wherever you go. But if you get a concentrate, you just mix this with water and you have a glass cleaner. You mix this with water and you have diluted down interior detailer cleaner. You have this brake buster. You dilute it down and you have really good wheel and tire cleaner. I do like this guy. I like this guy. I've never used this guy, and I do like this guy. It smells pretty good. The Pink Soap, a low pH neutral car soap. Really good for basic washes. I do also suggest what is another one? Like Meguiar's is another good one. But honestly, any car soap really works. But if you're using the foam cannon, get something that really just foams up the car. It just looks really cool. Like people slow down, the clients watch, and I'm easily amazed, especially if you have a really cool car soap that just foams up and it's really colorful. It just makes the experience a lot better. And then get some microfiber wash mitts. These guys are fine, But yeah, always have clean wash mitts. If not, you can downgrade them and use them in the wheels down here, so you could substitute them out once you have dirtied your wash mitts. Another thing is the drying towels. I actually like this deal. Um, two for one, but it's 23 bucks for two towels, but they are extra large. So I personally use one for the gym, and then I use the other one for the car because they do absorb water really, really well, and they do not mar the paint. Um, you could use a microfiber towel to dry the car, but it's going to take you forever. You could use a large mitt towel, those fancy towels. And yeah, I've never really used them, but I personally like the chamois. The next, number two, most important thing you need first is the power washer, then it's the vacuum. You can clean outside, you can clean inside. And if you accidentally wet the inside, you can suck it out with this vacuum. Personally, this rigid vacuum works really well because it's really portable, it's compact, you could wrap it up. Yeah, you could get another attachment to make the hose larger, but like I said, it's very compact, very light, so you could just move it around inside as well. I have the larger rigid vacuum, but personally, I do miss this one. I do like it. My other one takes up a bunch of space. Okay, the next thing you're going to need are some spray bottles. Like I said, dilute your products. Have some good spray bottles so that way they don't leak and they don't break. It's that simple. You get the steamer. This steamer, I don't know very much about it, but I do have a steamer because it helps me clean inside and outside. It comes very handy. If you know how to use the steamer, it doesn't damage anything, and it really makes detailing interior wise a lot quicker. But it can also damage very bad if you don't know how to use it. The last thing is these scrub pads. They're not necessary, but I do like them because of how easy they are to use. They're very portable and they clean really well. I mean, instead of me having to get the brush out and having to swirl around in a little circle, I just get these guys out, and sometimes I don't even need the steamer. It has two sides, a white side and an orange red side. If you use the orange side, it's like the microfiber towel, but it's a little bit more abrasive, a little bit rougher since you can put more pressure. And if if you've ever detailed for a long period of time, you know that handling a towel, having to switch it, fold it, move it, it slips off. It's so annoying. So having these scrub pads really help out, especially with cloth, leather, plastic. It pretty much details everything. Carpet, except for glass. I never really used it for glass. Oh yeah, like the roof, the upholstery, anything, right? So it just makes cleaning a lot easier. You need less tools, and I like them. I buy like 4 packs at a time. So yeah, they're not always available, but now they're on Amazon. So, the total comes out to $861. I know you guys can't see it. Let me move it over. All right, $861. So we were pretty close. And honestly, you could take away a couple things, right? Let's say you don't need the scrub pads. Uh, let's say you're going to keep that. The mitts. Let's say you're going to find cheaper soap, cheaper soap, cheaper soap, cheaper soap. You're going to keep that. You don't need that. Let's say you're just going to use a towel. So let's say you keep that. Actually, let's say you find it cheaper. Let's say you have cheaper buckets. And let's say you get a grit guard at Harbor Freight. Let's say you don't need the upgraded hose. Let's say you don't want that. You'll keep that. Actually, this comes with its own foam cannon. So if you want to be even cheaper, you don't need that. So you knocked it down a couple hundred. So you're at, instead of I don't even know. Okay, instead of 800, you're at 488. So almost half price. And you can even make it cheaper. Let's say you go to the dollar store, get some cheaper bottles. So 443 bucks, just to get started in detailing. You vacuum, you steam, you clean, you wash. I mean, use some Armor All for all I care. They'll call me back to fix it. But as you can see, you could play around with it. I do like this price. This is not a bad towel price. you could find a used power washer, you could find a used vacuum, and a used steamer. So let's say you find a used vacuum for like 40 bucks, a used steamer for like 20 bucks, and then a used power washer for like 80 bucks, you know? So 80, 50, 130 plus 20, you know, 150. So you're spending 150 on your tools instead of that, and then, you know, you only got to pay 14, 15, so you got like 30, 50, so like 200 bucks. So if you go on the used market, you can find a lot of used detailing stuff. But yeah, I mean, the success to your detailing business really depends up to you when you understand your area, your market, your clientele, and your abilities. And after that, it's just going after it. If you have any questions on becoming a detailer in your city, please feel free to let me know. If you want to learn how to be a detailer and how to charge even as much as like 250 bucks for like a couple minutes to fix a problem that nobody else could fix, especially last minute as a rush fee, reach out. I mean, there's a ton of detailers making a ton of money either detailing planes, fleet cars. I just did an Uber Black, how to be an Uber Black driver. Those fleets, those drivers, they do need car detailing. And if you offer them an affordable service and fee, like I would have had somebody popping up every other day detailing my SUV, and it didn't need much. Basically, an exterior wipe, and that was it. Just making it look shiny, so I didn't have to take it through the car wash. If you take your car through the car wash, you freaking suck, man. Like you're just destroying such a perfectly nice paint job. Like I've seen this nice G wagon. It was like this white. It was a white G wagon. It was so nice. And then they take it, and they're like, "Hey, could you detail it for me?" And I look at it, and I'm like, I can see it just reflecting all of the scratches and blinding me. But, you know, a good little polish fixes the swirl marks, fixes all those scratch marks, and that is a whole other topic, folks. Finding the right rotary polishing machine. I'm gonna go choose. I'm just gonna go to Harbor Freight. I've been polishing for a long time. That it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter, but with the right grit pad, we're good, right? You know, you just have to manage the pressure and the speed. But that's it, folks. You know, if you have any other questions on becoming a car detailer, if you want to learn how to be able to charge somebody for, let me give you a price quote, you know, $525 for both an interior and exterior detail for a small SUV. Why would it be that much? Or even 475, or even just an interior $250, right? For just four doors, you know, two sections, not even triple section, or charging triple section, you know, 275, 315. How to remove dog hair, how to remove stains and spills. What happens if somebody poops or pees in the car? You know, how do you price that and how do you fix that? So, if you have any questions about detailing, if you want to become a five-star detailer in your state or city, feel free to let me know. I already did it not once, but twice, multiple times in multiple different businesses. Just feel free to let me know. Also, I know the Yelp algorithm. So let's say you guys are struggling on Yelp. I know the exact equation to get you guys up and start moving those stars up. Same thing with your Google. If you have a struggling business that just is dying, let me know and we can talk about it and I can help you guys out. Or if you want to learn right now how to do Uber Black or car detailing, let me know. I am going to be hosting a live, in person, live streaming seminar, I guess, class to learn how to detail in front of my shop. And we're going to go from inside to outside. No polishing unless people want to learn polishing, but from engine to undercarriage to little nooks and crannies, little tips and tricks, especially dog hair. Um, Anybody that takes a dog hair job, and bless your heart. And if you're not charging enough charge and you don't know how much to charge, and if you're only charging 20 bucks for dog hair, bless your heart. That is a whole other topic and requires different tools that you probably didn't even know about. So if you have any questions, you're trying to upgrade your chemicals, you're trying to upgrade your value of your business, shoot a comment. Let me know how I did. The next video is going to be, let's see, what can I teach you guys next? Oh yeah, as easily as how to start a sushi restaurant business in Colorado. It's not that hard, folks. It's not that hard. Getting your liquor license, not that hard. Getting a sushi franchise, not that hard. If a 19-year-old that is an Asian can do it, you can do it. So, anyways, folks, I am going to go eat. I'm going to go cook. And then I think I'm done making videos for today. Thank you for joining the live stream. I really appreciate you folks. If you know someone that needs to see this video, feel free to share it. Be sure to like and subscribe. I will be live streaming my flight training simulator, real life flying, and especially working on a car. I will be polishing what am I polishing? Like some Acura SUV on Tuesday this upcoming week. It's the 13th. So let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so in 4 days. So the 17th of February, I will be showing you guys how to go through the whole process and get the car ready to polish it by hand here in Colorado. So if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, send a message, and let me know what you guys liked.